What with you? Let me see.
You been watching the Last Dance?
Yeah, I've been loving it. Loving it. Somebody told me that they leaked some of it out, so I was kind of upset
Yeah,
about it.
some of
I
my
didn't
friends
know
got like the whole thing.
I didn't know if I wanted to go watch it early or not, but I'm choosing to wait it out. Ain't nothing else to do. All right, let me see.
Oh, can my friends in here?
All right, so I'm trying to record it.
It's
That's why I
gonna
got my.
once you finish and you hit end, it's gonna say save live video, and you can just hit that and it's gonna save.
But see, I tried that, but because it's two people, it won't let me do that. I don't know if I got. It's like because it won't get your. So I'm recording it on my phone, but I'm gonna see if it works.
I don't know all that. Just made eggplant parmesan for the first time.
Hey, let me see. What's it looking like?
The plate empty now, but
Coach Mary in the building. We got Catherine on.
I should have did myself up a little better for the people. I'm sorry, though.
You wow. Coach Mary, how's the banker hours working?
Somebody working a 9 to 5?
Yeah, Coach Mary, my new assistant works at a bank and they not taking off. She said they've been busy like
Wow.
crazy.
Coach Go, look at the gold up in here. Vivian Gray.
For real, that's what's up. What's up?
Go right there.
Yeah, she's not bad. She's pretty good. All right, cool. Oh, you ready to go? All
Yep.
right. So you just want to kind of tell everyone a little bit about yourself, your story for the most part, and then we'll kind of jump back and forth some questions. I had kind of made up. We talked a little bit off camera, and then if anybody has any questions, I'll try my best to kind of pin them. I'm still kind of new to this whole thing.
They have a
So,
Q&A on here.
where's that at?
You see, it should be at the bottom right of your screen, and it should look like a stack of cards. You see it?
Maybe I gotta take this picture off.
And it should say have a Q on it. I don't know if it's gonna work. It's two of us on it. It should. Let me see if I can do it.
Yeah, see if you can. Oh, I got filters and this. Oh, there's a question right there. There we go. All right, cool. Got it. There you go. You the best. Forget the rest. All right, so it's on you. Tell us about yourself. Introduce yourself, your story. For the most part, those that don't know her, she went to Ursuline Academy, born and raised in New Orleans, and it's her first year at Oklahoma State. And you take the rest.
Um, Basically what Coach Golf said. I'm Kennedy. Um, I'm a freshman, a redshirt freshman at Oklahoma State University. Started playing basketball when I was around seventh grade, so I did start later than others. Um, Started with my middle school play in my eighth grade summer. I played on the 11th grade AAU team. Then I went to Ursuline, won two state championships there, and then I was blessed with the opportunity to go play D1 for Oklahoma State.
Cool. And we talked a little bit. I kind of sent you a text with the stats. A lot of people don't realize there's 400,000 people that play, or girls that play high school basketball, and there's around 16 to 17,000 that play college, and it breaks down to about 1.4% that play at the Division One level. What, like you talked about a little bit before going into it, like what does it take to get to that level, and what surprised you in general, like once you got to that level?
Um, I would say the most important thing to get to the D1 level is to outwork the people you're working with. If I could go back, the one thing I would change would be to work harder and not just to be better than people around me, but to know there's a bigger picture. So when you're in workouts, I would say not only are you trying to outwork the people that you're working out with, but there's so many other people that's better than you and better than people that you're working out with. That you have to think about the bigger picture to get to the next level. Because the people you're working out with in high school is nowhere near as good as the people on the D1 level.
No doubt. Like, so we go back to those numbers, right? You're talking about that 1.3%
Yeah, that's
that
crazy.
goes to D1, right? And then you're talking about there's different levels in D1 too, and you're at the highest level, high major. Um, what was I guess, the biggest adjustment, that you had to make? Were you ready? Did you feel like you were ready? And we kind of talked about it a little off camera. when you came back during Christmas? Did you feel like you were ready, and what kind of adjustments did you have to make?
Um, Overall, do I feel like I was ready? No. And I think that's a part of the reason why I did decide to redshirt. Um, Physicality wise, everybody on the D1 level, especially the top D1 level, physicality wise, they were just bigger, stronger, faster. And my body had to adjust to that. So by me taking a year off and redshirting, I think that gave me a better opportunity for next year when I actually am on the court. And I would say my biggest adjustment from high school to college basketball was to be knowing that I have to fix my mentality. In high school, you can know you can go to practice, get some workouts out, get some workouts done here and there. But in college, you have to know after school, basketball is your main priority, and you're at the school because of basketball. So you have to your time is all basketball.
No doubt. And that kind of leads me to another question. What does a typical day look like for a college athlete?
Um, I will start off with the hardest part of the season, which I believe would be preseason. Preseason you have 6 a.m. workouts. So you wake up at 5. You're in the locker room, gotta get dressed by about 5:30, 5:45. Then you do workout from 6 to about 7:15. After you do your workouts, maybe you might have time to take a shower, maybe you might not. So you take your shower, then you go to your first class. It's 8:30. My first semester I had an 8:30, 9:30, and an 11:30. So after my 11:30, we had practice. And preseason practice probably be about. We started off easy, about an hour 30 minutes, and then as the season went on, the practice went from an hour 30 minutes, 2 hours, 2 hour 30 minutes, 3 hours. Like practice just kept increasing. So, and then once you get out of practice, you have team dinner. Team dinner, you probably get out at about 7. And after you finish team dinner, you go home, and that's when you focus on your studies.
No doubt.
And wake
So,
up the next morning, do it all again.
so you kind of talked about a little bit of everything. I would say in high school you do three things, right? You do social life, you do
hmm
schoolwork, and you do basketball. How do those three rank whenever you get to college?
Um, I would say school is first. School is first because you have to stay eligible to even play basketball. After school is basketball. Social life, I would say it's way down the line. Whenever you have time, but it's rare that you do have time, and it's really not important once you get to college.
For sure. I think that's what a lot of people don't realize that college athletes are sacrificing so much as their social life in general. Like you're gonna hang out with the people that are around you, of course. Oh, there we go. We got a question. You're gonna hang around with the people that are around you, of course, and you're gonna get to kind of be around them and everything. But as far as developing and really getting new relationships, it's tough, especially year one. Like you're out
Yeah.
on your own. Like okay, so let's flash back to this time last year. You're April. You're about to get ready to go out and be on your own. What type
hmm
of advice would you give yourself? Like you're living on your own for the first time ever, hours and hours away. Like what type of advice would you give yourself?
Um, Definitely get to know people before you just consider them your friend and trust them because you don't know where other people come from. You don't know any of that kind of stuff. So I would say mainly before you even try to make new friends, which most of your friends are going to be your teammates anyway because that's who you're around 24/7. Watch your company because everybody who's around you doesn't always have your best interest. Especially those friends who aren't athletes. So when you make friends that don't play any sports, they don't have the same mentality as you do to that you can't do certain things or participate in certain activities.
No doubt. It's time management. They don't really care about your time, but you got to be up
Yeah.
at 5 o'clock in the morning. All right, we're gonna jump into some of these questions. What were some other offers that were on the table, and what led you to choose Oklahoma State?
Um, my other offers were Southern Miss, um, West Virginia was also a Big 12 school. I had LA Tech, down in Louisiana. I had St. John's, up in New York. I had Rutgers University. Um, that's all I can think of right now. Yeah.
What made you kind of pick Oklahoma State over all that?
Um, I picked Oklahoma State one because the coaches made everything feel like it was just a good environment to be around. I think those coaches kept it real with me the most out of the other schools, and the facilities at the school mind blowing. Like they also took a house visit. Um, and the head coach, Coach Patel, and Coach Davis, the coach that recruited me, came, sat down, and talked with me and my family about everything and how they would like to see me a part of the team and what they thought I could bring to the team.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
Another question someone had: what? Let's see, where'd it go? All right, there we go. Did you experience a culture shock living in New Orleans to
Oh,
Stillwater?
of course.
So whenever I flew in to this small airport, got on the smallest plane I've ever been in my life for the second time ever, and flew into Stillwater Airport, and I got out there, I didn't even like know if they were gonna have Ubers. Like it was that rural, I guess you can say.
Yeah, I definitely had a big culture shock because New Orleans is so exciting, to say the least, and you always have something to do out there. Um, Oklahoma is very slow paced. The people are much nicer than the people in New Orleans. Um, and everybody, I would say everybody is just nice out there. Like it's slow paced, it's cool, calm, and collected up there.
Cool. Um, Another question: what are some things you hope to accomplish at the D1 level?
That's a good question. First and foremost, I need to get my degree. That's the first thing I'm going to accomplish. Another thing I hope to accomplish is by my senior year, I will have become an All American, and I would like to be on the first defensive team. That's two of my big goals.
Rebounding 18.5 rebounds or whatever you had in high school is a good start for
Yes,
sure for
great
the
start.
defense. Oh, let's see. We talked about the day. So we talked about it a little bit already. Communication, I feel like, is probably the hardest adjustment. Like you don't really realize how much your parents or teachers, or really anybody that cares about you, kind of like deflect stuff and put stuff on the side to where it doesn't really hit your radar, right? So can you
Hmm.
talk about how important communication is for your teachers, to your coaches, to your friends, like everything? Like once you get out on your own, your communication is going to be going a long ways.
I'll start off with communication with my professors. In high school, whenever I had a problem, I just told my mom. Mom contacted the teacher. At college, especially being an athlete, you have to communicate with your professors all the time. You have to develop a relationship with them because you're always on the road traveling. Sometimes you're even going to miss final exams. You have to make sure you email your professor and let them know, even at the beginning of the semester. Hi, my name is Kennedy. I'm on the women's basketball team. I know I'll be missing a few classes. What's your protocols? This, like, that's how it works.
They make y'all sit in the first couple rows.
They don't make us know, but I still do because I don't want to be in the back of the class athletes. So I want teacher to know who I am. Like I want them to know my face. As far as communication with my coaches, um, I think my coaches make it very easy to communicate with them. I think every coach you can talk to about different things. Like what I would talk to Coach Davis about um, would be like more personal things. Coach Andrew would be more Coach, I'm not really getting this move down. Can you stay with me after practice to help me get it? And once a coach see that you're communicating, then they're putting forth the extra effort, that's gonna help your PT because they say, okay, this kid's really trying to get this down, like So just communication makes everything better. As far as communication with your teammates, you have to know the personnel of your teammates because you can't talk to every teammate how you talk to the other teammate. Like one teammate may take things better if you pull them to the side and say, "Hey, I noticed you was doing this in practice." Another teammate might take it better by you saying it out loud. It's just how you have to know the personality of your teammate.
No doubt. Again, anybody that's watching, man, y'all can just kind of jump in the chat or in the questions. We're gonna answer some questions that you guys have. All right, here we go. We got another one came in. When did you receive your first recruiting letter, and what are your plans after college?
My first recruiting letter was the summer of my eighth grade year. I was playing with Elevate. Um, I don't remember who it was from. But the main one I do remember that I know was one of my first ones, and I got so excited because I love this school was South Carolina. I opened the letter. I think I even like hung it up in my room,
There you
even though
go.
the letter was like it was just like a questionnaire asking me about
Yeah,
myself. I was so excited that South Carolina even noticed me.
that's big time.
Yeah.
That's big time. So, in the second part of the question, what's your plans after college?
Plans after college. I think I want to go to law school after college. I have this. I want to be a lawyer. I'm gonna go to law school after
You'd be
college.
pretty good at it.
And if basketball takes me to play on a professional level, whether that be WNBA overseas, I'll take it.
For sure. I think a lot of people don't realize that. Was even talking with some of your teammates from Ursuline, like, we're all focused on life after basketball, life after basketball. You just gotta kind of take it as it goes. Like, sure, you definitely want to get your degree 100%, but
Hmm.
if that opportunity comes down, like, you gotta. It's nice to even say no to that opportunity, you know. So put yourself in the right position. Let's see. Another question. After you got your first offer letter, how did your game mentality change? Did you feel
Pressure.
pressure or was it normal?
I don't think I would say pressured. It definitely made me feel good about myself. It was definitely a confidence booster because now I saw that okay, people were noticing me, so I must be some type of okay. So it was a confidence booster, and it made me believe in myself more that I can actually accomplish big things.
Yeah, no doubt. Like you said, you hung it up in your room and used it as motivation just in general. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What another question I had? All right, so like given the scouting service and the business that I created and everything with LGR and the rankings and you got Vivian and all these girls that are ranked in the top whatever and ESPN. You had stars coming out. Like, can you talk about how that really at the end of the day doesn't matter once you get to college? Like, it's the rankings and all that is, I guess, potential based. Once you get to
Hmm.
college, it's all about production. Can you talk about that a little bit?
I would say every accolade that I've gotten in high school almost means nothing once you get to college. Like, I was ranked on the ESPN list. I won two state championships. Got all statement mention. Um, was a McDonald's All American
Yeah.
nominee. Went to the USA trials. None of that matters once you step on the college gym because those accolades that you have, there's probably seven other people on the team that you're on have the same accolades. And if you can't prove why you got those accolades, or nobody cares. Like no one cares that I was a McDonald's All American nominee. It's not about the past. It's about what am I proving to my teammates and my coaches once I step on the floor.
No doubt. I think that's the craziest thing that people get kind of like misconstrued. They get all caught up in, right? So you follow this dream since you were an eighth grader. Some girls play since they're fourth grade, right? And they want to go D1, want to go D1, and then once you get there, you don't realize how much more hard work is. Like everyone's on the same playing field, and you're
Yeah,
trying to, like you said, you're trying to outwork that 1.3% day in, day out, every single day.
and
Great
I've
answer.
seen people who was top 10 ESPN, had all those accolades, got to college and was in for a shell shock. Yeah.
For sure. Here we go. Got another question. Who are you looking forward to playing next year in the Big 12?
Um, I would say Texas Tech, but Brittany Brewer is gone now. I would really like to play against her. But I'm gonna have to say I'm looking forward to playing Baylor.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I'm
I know
definitely
that you
looking
talked
forward to
about the
playing Baylor.
rival too with Oklahoma. I think
OU?
y'all were saying how many people show up to that game? It's normally like a lot.
Well, that's probably most of our games. We have a decent amount of people, but OU game, it's different. All the stands are filled. It's loud. It's crazy.
That's big time.
It's like us playing Cabrini times 10. Yeah,
With a lot bigger arena, with a lot more
yeah.
people. Another question from the people we got. What part of your game has improved since you've been to OK State?
It's a good question. I would say my conditioning has improved a lot. My conditioning and my weight room training has improved, and I think the major weakness of my game has always been my conditioning. Once I get in good shape, I feel like the sky's the limit, and then some. So OK State definitely helped me get in shape. Yeah.
Yeah, I think too with the strength training and everything. Like you was telling me that you were like having a one-on-one session with the strength coach since you were redshirt, and how that helped you out like tremendously. I don't think people realize the physicality at the next level as well. You want to talk about that a little
Yes.
bit?
By me being able to redshirt, it definitely helped me with conditioning in my weight room because when you're a redshirt, you have different weight room training than everybody else. The rest of your teammates are in season and they're playing actual in games, and you're not playing in those games. So your weights can go, they can keep going up because you actually don't have a game to play in. And I played against Tasha Mack in practice every day, and she
She's a
was
JUCO. She was a JUCO Player of the Year before she got to
yes,
OK State. Just for those that don't know.
yes, and she was very strong. And I think me playing against her and me also having the extra strength in the weight room also it helped not only my strength but my mentality also.
No doubt. We got a good little question here from. It looks like it could be a teammate. I can't really read it. It's kind
Vivian,
of hard to
yes,
see.
Vivian.
Who's your favorite teammate?
Um, wow. Uh, um, I'm gonna have to go with Landry. Is my favorite
Uh
teammate.
oh.
Landry he's not actually a teammate. He's like our team manager. He's very fun to be around. So that's my safe answer, Vivian. Landry.
I like it. Don't want to single yourself out with that. Oh, and to back on the strength question, I think we did a decent job in the weight room at Ursuline, and you and
Mhm.
your dad did. Y'all went and got a trainer and everything else. Like so, I even feel like you're probably more prepared than a lot of people were, and
Mhm.
still it was like a huge culture shock. So I wanted to really kind of emphasize that to everyone. Like it's such a big difference. You're playing with grown women. Like you're playing with
Yes.
people that are 5 years older than you, maybe even 6 years older than you at times. What's the favorite part of the organization? I'm not sure what that means. What does that mean?
Um, I think if we're talking about like college overall or like Oklahoma State, we're gonna go Oklahoma State. Um, I think my favorite part of our basketball organization is the family aspect. Like, of course, every team goes through troubles where you might have a little team drama here and there or whatever. But at the end of the day, we all can rely on each other, whether that be off the court or on the court.
For
That
sure.
includes the coaches too.
For sure. Yeah, y'all definitely have a close knit group for sure.
Yeah.
Um, Again, guys, if y'all want to jump on, you can ask some questions. We're going to be here for about another 10 minutes or so. Next question. What basketball player or players do you look up to?
Um, I would say Brittany Pure. I look up to Tasha too. She's a good role model. Um, Kalani Brown as every I don't want to say post players role model. Um, yeah, that's my three.
That,
Kalani,
that, that's
Brittany
a good
Pure,
group.
and Tasha. Yeah.
That's a good group. Somebody asked, what's some things y'all do for team bonding? So like you said, you're around your team so much. Like I'm sure it
Mhm.
just kind of comes naturally. But is there anything that kind of sticks out that helped y'all with team bonding?
Um, sometimes we get together. I'm a few times we went out to eat together, all the team. Like it wasn't put together with the coaches or anything. We were just like, let's go out get some food after practice. Sometimes we would go over by the teammates Olivia and Vivian's house, and we just go over there and chill. We just do small things together. We would play sand volleyball together when we were on our days off and stuff. So it'll just be some small team bonding things we would do together.
You got any better from rally volleyball at rally?
Oh, I suck. Everybody hates when I'm on the team. So
We got some more questions. We got Coach Joe's asking any advice for the underdogs.
um, if I could go back and tell my teammates that I played with at Ursuline and give them any advice, uh, what you're doing is not enough, and it's nowhere near enough. Even though we were one of the few programs to have an actual weight room and have a weight program. I still don't think it's not enough. You getting up and you might do like a workout every other day of the week was not enough. That prepared me for the major D1 level.
Sure.
You just gotta do more. Just keep pushing yourself to do more because even though you, like I said earlier, even though you may be better than the people on your team and people you're working out with, there's always somebody better at the D1 level that you're fighting against.
For sure. Somebody your age, older, or they're trying to find somebody that's younger than you to bring you in. It's a business at the end of the day. How did you? So again, you moved off first time out. How did you handle some struggles on the court, off the court, classroom, being off on your own your freshman year?
Um, the way I handled it got better with experience. So I got there, got cool with some of my teammates, and I think I got a little too comfortable. I would leave my apartment and I would leave my door unlocked. So I learned the hard way. One day I walked in my apartment looking for a pair of shoes and they weren't there.
Mm.
So that was definitely a lesson learned for me. Stop being so comfortable. But it was something I had to get used to because at home I didn't have to worry about locking my room door. I didn't have to worry about that. Now I'm living with only one other roommate and it's my responsibility. I have to remember to always lock the door. So that's one small thing. Well, not small, but that's one thing I learned and had to adjust to.
For sure. We kind of touched on this one a little bit. As far as conditioning with college team, what type of things do they do differently than a high school conditioning, and how did you adapt?
Everything is 10 times harder. That includes the running, the weightlifting, the agility workouts. I don't even know where to start with that question. I was in for a rude awakening when I got to college conditioning, especially just starting off with the fact that it was at 6 o'clock in the morning every day.
No doubt. Yeah, 6 o'clock comes early, especially whenever it's just like locked in every single thing. You don't have time for any social life.
Yeah, and the workout started at 6, but that really means 5 because you got to get up at 5. So
yeah, for sure. And you don't have parents waking you up every morning. You got to get up on your own, or not. If not, you're in big time trouble.
Yeah, don't you dare miss a workout.
So you talked about Natasha Mack, of course. Who are some other players that you've seen? Some of the best players you've seen, I guess, y'all have gone against or on your team in college in general.
I would say by us playing against Oregon at the very beginning of the season, there's a very good team. Sabrina, I don't know her last name. Her last name was like Satu or something that played for Oregon. Both of them are top 3 draft picks. We played against Lauren Cox, definitely another top 3 draft pick. We played against the point guard from Louisville. She's a top 10 draft pick. Played against Melissa from Baylor. We played against Brittany Ewer, another draft pick. We played against a lot of good people this season.
For sure, year in year out, you're going to be playing against the top dogs for sure.
Yeah.
So a question outside of basketball, someone asked, how do you think the school is? I guess education wise.
I think the school's very good education wise. I think I'm challenged every day in the classroom, and I think the teachers actually do care. Well, the professors I had do care. Most of them are, if you have any questions, you ask me after class, email me. And education is definitely a priority with our program. We have our own tutors. If you need a tutor for any class that you have, we have facilitators. We have a computer lab, a writing center. We have everything you can need education-wise to succeed.
For sure. Anybody that's kind of coming in now, just a heads up, guys. You can comment anything, any questions you got. I'll be here for about another 5 minutes or so. Next question we got is, how did your diet change, or did it change much in college? I know we had some great food at Ursuline, but in New Orleans in general, but how did that change?
Um, I would say in the beginning, um, my appetite did change a lot. For some reason, I don't know if it's because I was away from home or this was a new environment. I wouldn't eat that much, and I learned that that's not okay because with the intense workouts that I have, you have to eat something. So after that went away, the meals provided for us they were good on nutrition and stuff. So as long as I ate those meals, it was fine. But did I have like a crazy diet change? No, I didn't.
Let's see what we got. Who influenced you to play basketball?
My dad.
You want to
It
talk
was
about y'all's relationship a little bit?
I started playing. Well, first off, I was 6 foot in the sixth grade, and I absolutely refused to play basketball because I felt like basketball is a boys' sport. Girls don't do that. So once, actually, it was my basketball coach for my seventh grade year. Her name was Coach Mitchell. When she walked on campus, and she was like, "I'm gonna make you a layup queen." And we had middle school games, and if I couldn't do nothing else, I was gonna turn around and make a layup. So I think she was the person that really got me started on basketball. But once I actually I got okay and had potential in playing, when my dad kicked in, he was definitely the coach that pushed me the hardest. Even though I didn't like it sometimes, it was always me being a better player in the end, and it got me to where I am now. So
For sure. So that kind of takes me to my one of my last questions that I got. So you go through these hard times, and I would always kind of tell our girls at Nichols, you're away from the home, first time ever, and it's tough. Like, can you talk about those hard times? Like, what did you think about? Like, why am I doing this? Like, this is what I dreamed of, and now I'm finally here. And then, like, it's those tough times. You got to remember back to seventh grade and remember that girl that fell in love with the game of basketball. Can you kind of talk about your hard times and what kind of crossed your mind?
um, I would say my freshman year, I had I wouldn't say a lot, but I had a few hard times. For some reason, when I got out there, I would get sick really easily. Um, I had the fever one time. I had flu-like symptoms. Then I had mono. Then I had other stuff that went on. And it was times where I would text my parents and be like, I don't know if I want to keep doing this. Like, I'm at home. I mean, I'm not at home. I'm by myself. Um, I'm sick, and there's times where I got sick, and I had to stay in my room for like 2 days at a time. And being alone for the first time, and you not really having friends yet that you can confide in and rely on, it takes a toll on you. It gets tough. But I would say one thing that I developed once I got to college was a better relationship with God. Like, my religion, I strengthened it because if I don't have nobody else to talk to, I'm not gonna talk to Him.
Mm-hmm.
And once that got better, my things in my life started improving, on and off the court. So it definitely gets tough when you're alone by yourself, but you gotta stick with it and remember like why you're here. So
For sure. And I think, a lot of people don't realize that, of course, you go through all the physical battles and everything, but a lot of people don't realize the mental battles and mental challenges
yes.
and everything that you go through. And it's not easy. Like, everyone's going through it, but a lot of people aren't really showing it. You're going to feel like you're all by yourself. But, like you said, you got to kind of keep yourself close, keep the people that are your friends close to you, and kind of lean on them when you can. But you got to remember the reason why you're there, too. Free education and better yourself. Like, this is talking about your family down the road, generations down the road, how much this is going to help you. Don't have any other questions, I don't think. But last question, I guess I kind of throw it back to you. First off, man, thank you again for coming on. This is actually Kennedy's idea, so we're going to start doing this. We're going to start doing this every Wednesday. I think it's great. Give our girls, someone to look up to, kind of build a little bit of a relationship going forward. Anybody can reach out to Kennedy. She'll be great in mentoring, or anybody needs any type of advice from here out. So we got a question. What's the craziest question about New Orleans you've gotten from Oklahoma people?
um, the craziest question I got was, I'm not gonna go into detail, but
Thank you.
what happens on Bourbon Street?
Oh,
Like, is it true? Yeah, I got a lot of questions about Bourbon Street.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. I'm sure. So just kind of wrapping it up, man. Just if you got any more advice, I guess you can kind of give anybody really. You know, I mean, there's going to be girls from middle school all the way to high school dreaming of coming in, following your footsteps. You know, think back to the same seventh grade, eighth grade girl that you were talking about that got that letter. Like, what type of advice would you or could you give to those people? And just kind of talk about. I feel like you would have an open door if anyone kind of wants anything else from you.
I think the main thing I would say was going back to what I touched on earlier is just do more. I remember there was a lot of days where I just didn't do anything and I felt complacent. Maybe we were winning games or I had good games, and it wasn't enough. Always keep that mindset of that 1.3. There's only 1.3% of girls that play high school basketball that make it to the major D1 level, and that's mind blowing to me because I didn't even know that. I would say always do more, do more.
I like it. I love it, man. Again, Kennedy, nothing but love from me, man. If you need anything my way, I can't wait for the gym to open up now and be blowing you up, trying to get in the gym.
So I can't wait for it to open up either.
We need to all get some work in. I know Rail, Kath, and everybody, they're all dying to get back in the gym. So as soon as it opens up, man, I'll be hitting you up. But again, appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. Anybody that's following us, feel free to follow Kennedy. Reach out to her. She'll be more than willing to help you guys. Until next time, guys.
All right, coach.
Thanks.
No problem.